Live. Okay, well, welcome everyone to Astropreneur. My name is Liam, and tonight we have two special guests, and I'm sure many of you have met them online many times. We have Ronald Rong and Heidi Young from Sovol. Now, many of you, as I said, have seen them online in their live streams and have chatted with them on Facebook and so on. But they have agreed to come on tonight to have a talk with us and discuss a little bit about themselves and about the company and so on. So to give you some insight onto what's happening in Sovol. Now, just before we get started, I want to remind everyone to first of all, please click like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, subscribe, give the thumbs up and click that bell so you get notified of any future broadcasts that I do. And on Facebook, give it a like and also follow us on Facebook, okay? Now, also remember, if you want to post questions, please post them in the chat, and we'll get to the questions and the audience questions later on. This channel is obviously run by me, so any sponsorship that you can give to help really goes a long way to help pay for the streaming service, okay? Because it's not free. So you can do it through my Patreon page if you wish to. You also have the option of actually doing it through PayPal, or if you want to, you can just go to this link and buy me a coffee. So without any further ado, I'm going to get into the interview, and I'd like to welcome both Heidi and Ronald to my home. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Yeah, hello, William, and
Hey.
hello, everyone.
Hi, William. Hi, guys.
Yeah, I'm Heidi.
This is Ronald from Sovol.
Yeah.
Well, we've chatted online many times on Facebook. We've chatted on your live streams. We've communicated over and back. This is our very first time speaking face to face. Well, virtually face to face, right? This is the first time. This is kind of cool. Welcome to my home, because this is where I am right now. I'm in my house.
Yeah.
Glad to be invited.
Yes. Well, we are very happy to join with you, and thanks for inviting us to join this interview.
Yeah. Well, right. I wouldn't even say it's an interview. It's more of a get to know you. I want, like a lot of the times, 3D printing companies and filament makers and all these guys invite makers, people like me and the others who are actually online with us, to come online and talk about what they do. And nobody has ever turned around and says, okay, well, as a company, we want to get to know you better, your company better. And I thought the idea of doing this was a get to know you of the people we see all the time online and the company, and to learn more about what the company does, what your daily lives are like, and so on.
Yeah, when you invite me, I think that is a very good idea, and so I think it is very worth to try.
Yeah, well, you know, it's fun. I think it'd be good for everyone to get to know everybody else around. So because everybody out in the community does communicate with you online, and they see you online selling products and so on, and with their printers and other equipment. But it's nice just to see the other side of things a little bit.
Yeah.
So let me start with Ronald. I'm going to put you in the hot seat. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, you're the chief marketing officer for Sovol, and you're a young man. That's a big position for someone who's like, I'm an old guy, okay? So someone so young compared to me, that's a big position. So tell us a little bit about you and your background.
All right. So for the people who didn't know me, I just actually joined Sovol. I think it's been around half of the year or 5 months already. But I knew about Sovol like last year, and when I was the CMO in one of the robotic vacuum cleaners company, and we also run like the Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the social media online, and we do run the Amazon, AliExpress, and our official website to sell something. So it's like, for me, it's doing the same job but the different products. You know, I knew about Sovol last year because of I think the part of the reason to know about Sovol is because of Bill. because when I was participating one of the salon, I knew Bill in the salon, and before knowing him, I know about reality. And when I was just graduated from university, I was also selling the 3D printers in my first job. So from then, I know about Creality because Creality is almost the best company in the 3D printing industry in China. So by knowing Bill, the first CMO of Sovol, I knew about Sovol, and I joined Sovol user group last year, and I was watching how the Sovol operating their business. I knew about how the Sovol SB01 works and how popular it is in the community. From then, I was kind of like, oh, Sovol SB01 is just a really good product to, for a very beginner of the industry. Sovol is like a very new brand, and people like it. People like its products. So when I was trying to join Sovol, I quit my deluxe shop and joined Sovol in June. So that was the my background to join Sovol.
So the Bill you're referring to is actually Bill Gao, who was doing marketing for Sovol previously, and he was actually on with us last week. We actually had a conversation with Bill last week, so similar to what we're doing with you this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about you, Heidi? You're with Sovol a lot longer, so tell us a little bit about your background.
Actually, in last year, I'm still a student. Yeah, it is my fourth year of the college, but we didn't have any classes. The teachers just arranged us to work, to go to the company and practice. I do practice, so I'm training last year. I was a trainee last year. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I have come here about 1 year and 3 months. So I have been here for a long time, and I see how Sovol growing, and the Facebook page and the group, any other social media. How does it grow? Yeah, all of the social media are managed by me. Yeah.
So how does it feel? Like, I know, Ronald, you worked prior to this, right? You worked in doing marketing for another and social media for another company, but this is your first job, and how does it feel on your first job to be thrown in such a deep end that you're dealing with people all the time on Amazon, you're dealing with them on Facebook, you're coming into live streams, like that's a big change from sitting in the classroom studying.
Yeah, because it is my first job, so I think it is very meaningful for me and very important. So I want to make it better. I want more people know Sovol and know Sovol products, and I hope people like it and trust it.
Well, I think you can tell by from their feedback in your community, people really like the products. But back to you, Ronald. So you studied marketing in college, I assume, yeah?
No.
What did you study, Heidi?
For me, no. My major is English, not marketing. It has nothing to do with marketing.
But it helps you in this job because you deal with people like us all the time, and a lot of us tend to speak English, so it makes your life a little bit easier.
I think I just learned that online from some articles, from videos. Yeah.
Well, whatever works. I know a lot of people who have learned foreign languages from watching them. My wife knows some. She knows some Korean from watching Korean soap operas. So she's I wouldn't say she's fluent in it, but she knows enough to not always have to read subtitles. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you can learn a lot from just watching movies and so on in other languages. I've heard other people who learn English doing so as well.
Yes, I have never any experience about marketing in the college. Yeah, my class is all about English. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just a quick reminder to everyone who's on, please click on the thumbs up and like. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe, because the more thumbs up you do on Facebook, or the more follows you do on Facebook, helps with the channel. And if you're on YouTube, the more thumbs up and subscribes that you give also promotes it a little bit better on YouTube, because their algorithm actually promotes us based on likes, the more and thumbs up on YouTube. So. Let me start with Heidi. Why did you choose Sovol? I know you are like, everyone has a reason why they went with their company in the first place.
That's very interesting. That's an accident. Yeah, accident. I don't know. So before I come here, I when I was in college, the teacher just asked us to choose a place and choose a position to work. At that time, we have several choice. Like we can go Shanghai, we can go any city in Guangdong province, because those cities are the cities that e-commerce develops so well, because it is close to the sea. So it is very good to develop e-commerce. But I have been to Shanghai when I was the third year of when I was the second year of the college, but the rent is very expensive for me, so I didn't choose Shanghai again. So I went to Shenzhen. I think this city is very clean, and people are very very positive to their work. Yeah.
And Ronald, I know you kind of explained a little bit earlier on about how about being involved with the online community and so on, and knowing Bill. What made you make the decision to move to Sovol from what you were doing previously?
Well, for me, the reason why I decided to join Servo is that I did a lot of research. I mean, before joining Servo, or even for other business, even for my last job, my the robotic vacuum cleaner company. Before I joined the business, before I joined to be an employee in a company, I did a lot of research. I mean, I would definitely look inside their community, look inside their products, and see how people interact with each other, how people comment on the products, and I even joined the Sovol user group last year. I mean, I believe it would probably be November or December. Is almost a year when I joined Sovol user group. I believe so, and so in this half of a year, I just follow what it's almost everything, every event Sovol held, including the live stream. And I knew about I knew Bill, I knew Alexander, I knew Heidi, and I knew that they went live like every week, or at least twice a month.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was some relationship between the quality and soul, but I don't think I would tell something right now. But but yeah, I like I said, I believe the products of the Sovol, it's really can bring something. It's really something to the customers. It's really something to the community. So that's why I joined Sovol, because I believe Sovol really are doing something for their community, for their customer, and I want to join and to do my best to keep the things up and do my best to contribute to the growing of the Sovol's business. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit. Tell everybody, I suppose, a little bit about the company. Like, why was the company started? Like, when did the company start? What was the idea? Like, there's lots of 3D printing companies out there, and Sovol is a young company. So, like, why did they start? Where did the idea come from? And like, you've grown from being a small company to being a major player in 3D printing world in a very short amount of time. So, like, I never heard of Sovol. 18 months ago, I didn't even know who Sovol was. And then I heard a little bit about it. I started doing when the SVO1 came out. I started doing a little bit of digging around. And then all of a sudden, Sovol's everywhere, right? Everywhere you go, people are talking about Sovol. They're talking about Sovol on the Creality forums. They're talking about it on the general 3D printing forums. It's everywhere. So tell everybody a little bit about how the company came to be.
Heidi, want to share with them?
It started in last March. In last March, I think, but in last March, everything wasn't done. Maybe just the SVO1 is developed, and we have some sample, but the website hasn't done. When I came here is July, last July. So when I came here, the website is very simple, but only have a few products like Sovol SVO1 and some few filaments, PLA filaments. Just those products. Yeah. Even the Beer Touch is Beer Touch was available in last August, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I came here, a few products, maybe just about five, I think. Yeah. So very, very few.
So, but when did the company start up? When did Sovol as a company begin? When did they first open their doors?
Maybe March. Yeah, maybe March. But
that's a very short period.
Yeah. But in March, I'm not sure it is a company, but I don't know when Sovol registered to be a company. Yeah, I don't know that, but I just know in March the Sovol SVO1 is done, and it is a sample, and then we send some to review from from March and July, send many SVO1 to review. To no matter they are YouTube influencer or the active group members, he sent the print to review and let them say something in the group about Sovol SVO1. So some people begin to know Sovol.
So I want each of you to take a turn at this one. I'm going to go with you first of all, Ronald. What is a normal day like for you working at Sovol?
The normal day of me working in Sovol, I think I'll tell a little bit about the timeline of our working. Well, we started work just now. It's 8:30 a.m. China time. So it's a little bit early if in your country, I believe. 8:30 a.m.
There's a 13-hour time difference.
I'm sorry?
There's a 13-hour time difference. I'm on the East Coast in the US, so it's a 13-hour time difference.
Yes,
yeah, I know it. Yeah, 30 hours time difference, and so we just back to the office. We started work 8:30 a.m. and like we got out for work at 6 p.m. But we normally would to make the overwork, and we will get off work like average for at I believe 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. China time. So it's around you got to work for 15 hours or 14 hours every day in Sovol. But everyone in Sovol is full of energy, and the top people in our company always provide some the dim sum and some chips, the snacks for us when we are working. And after getting off for work, for me personally, it's almost 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. getting off for work. I would normally go for a run in the gym or in the some go for a hike in the evening. So, and we I for me, I would I would having the meals in the company. So after getting off for work, I would do some exercise, and after the exercise, I would go home and get a bag, go to bed and sleep. So that's normally the day of me working in a Sovol.
They're long days.
Yeah, it's a long day.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm assuming a lot of your days are in meetings, especially when you're a CMO. You probably spend a lot of time in meetings.
right.
Yeah, I know what that's like. I'm in meetings about half my day, and if I'm not in the meeting, I'm on a phone call, and then if I'm not in the phone call, I'm on my computer. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, what about you, Heidi? I know you both spend time on social media, right? I know Heidi spends a lot of time out there because I chat with Heidi a lot on social media and online a lot, about general stuff and about new products and all this kind of stuff. So, what's your normal day like?
My normal day. Last year, I'm also a customer service. I also reply messages on Sovol Study, but about this June, I began to move to about I was focused on social media. Yeah, because replying messages to customers really spend a lot of time. So from this June, I start to focus on social media. When I go to the office in the morning, I mostly look through our Facebook page and see if there are any new comments about our Facebook ads and our posts. So I always reply the comments at first, and then I look through our Sovol user group to see if any people have problems about their printer or other problems. So I will help them, and then I may go back to the review because sometimes I also contact people to review, and I need to follow up. I need to follow if they already done the review or they still haven't received the product. So I need to follow it. And also, sometimes I contact people to review the products on Amazon. Usually, it's when the product is new and it just come out, and if we get the review, the products then more people may look that product and know that product. So we need to get review, and when the printer come out, I need to contact the YouTube influencer to review the printer or machine like the curing machine SAO1 or the washing machine as so as
I have one.
to yeah.
I bought one of your curing machines from my resin printer.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you
I
think
should have
it's
waited. I could have got the discount of the sale, but so let's talk about like you've released a lot of new products. Like you have the resin vat, you have the curing station, and so on. You've added the mixing head for the SCO2, which allows you to blend colors in the SCO2 in the hot end. But right now, the one you're working toward, I believe, is right now is the SVO3, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So-
Our next product is so SVO3.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that project that you're working on. Like when is it planning to be released? I know it was supposed to be this month sometime. So do you have a date yet? Can you do a big reveal and tell everyone the date is supposed to be released?
We have some delay about that, so as we'll
Okay.
see. At first, we hope that it can be released in on October. Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, we hope that it can be released on October, but because of the shipping delay, then we have to delay that to the beginning of December. So in the beginning of December, I believe it must be in stock in US warehouse and that warehouse. So at that time, we will release that, of course, and we will do a live stream to let people to ask questions and to look at that product and look how does it work. And I also seen some to review, seen some to the YouTube influencers. So some review are available on YouTube, but because the price rating hasn't been decided. The boss hasn't let us know the price. So when the YouTube influencer do the review in their channel, they can't say the price because they don't know, and I don't know as well.
Well, delays happen, right? It happens with every product. Okay, there's always no product ever goes from engineering through production and ready for release dead on time. There's always going to be some delays at some point, right? It's a given. But what do you have planned for next year? Like there's been on the communities, on the forums, as you know, I'm on there a lot. There's a lot of talk on the forums about people, since you're doing resin vats, people are asking, are you going to do a resin printer?
Yes.
And people are talking about, there's been some discussion about the possibility of doing an IDEX printer. Or a really, like, I know I'm a big advocate for the bigger the better. The larger the printer you make, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Or like, so is there can you give us any insights to what you have planned for 2021?
What?
Well, I
I know
believe
you can't give details, an idea of what's coming up. Just teasers to get everybody, to let the people who are here know that next year you have something new and cool coming out, and it could be like this. So, just to try and get teasers out to get more and more to drive interest.
Actually, the engineer didn't say much about their plan. They usually don't let us know their plan. Yeah, yeah.
but that will definitely be the resin printer in the future.
Yeah,
We are planning to do that.
Many people bet us we will do a resin printer. So I just told the engineers about that, and they say they may do a resin printer in the next year. They do have that plan. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people have been asking about it online, and a resin printer is easier because there's only one axis that moves. You've only got Z, that's all that moves.
Actually, the engineers are also in our user group, and they also look through the questions from our users, and they will also look the post, and so they know the demand of our users. They know what products our users want and what products they like. So what people want, and they will do. Yeah. So
Well,
just believe this point.
actually, that brings me actually directly into my next question that I was going to ask you. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people do give feedback, and
Yeah.
I actually didn't know the engineers are watching online. So, like, if I knew some of the engineers were online, I'd probably be more vocal about new features. But
Yeah.
so, like, what is the process? Well, you get all these requests online on your social media about suggestions and improvements and so on. What happens with that data? How do the engineers deal with that data? Do they just look at it and say, maybe that's like a good idea, and then they have
No.
meetings and check through it, or how's it done? Do you know?
No. We have a group. We have group let the customer service and to contact the engineers. The customer service will will send the questions from the users or send the problems of the users to that group, and the engineer will answer that questions and help them with the pictures or any videos they can to make the customers to understand. So they will reply on in that group, and then the customer service will reply the customers. So there is no way to allow customers to contact engineer directly, but the engineer always but the answers and the solutions for our customer service are always from our engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are always help you behind.
That's good.
Yes.
As when I said a moment ago that I did not know that the engineers were on there, Jerry from 3D printing and painting has said there's always someone lurking out there watching.
Yeah,
And
I
I
know
suppose
Jerry.
it's true.
I know Jerry, and yesterday I talked to with him, and he can review our green resin mat.
Cool.
So that's very nice. Yes.
So, like, you gave us an idea of what's next. And there's a possibility of a resin printer coming up next year. You said maybe. That engineering are looking into those options, which is a really cool idea. Actually, I think because
Yes.
I think resin is gaining more and more popularity, and especially the larger bed resins are gaining more and more popularity now. It's messy to deal with, but there's some like you have to be careful when you're dealing with it. But the quality of the prints are beyond fantastic, right? So it's
Yeah.
FDM is great, resin is better, and I
Yes.
actually believe if you combine FDM and resin, so you print an FDM and coat it with resin and then harden it, you get a perfectly smooth print. So you can actually combine the two technologies in one. If you, that's the way I see it. You can actually get really good prints out of FDM if you paint it with some resin and then bake it, put it in your curing station, and your output would be a perfectly smooth FDM resin hybrid. So so let's have a quick look and see what questions we have in. Okay, so there's one for you asking how many people at a time do you usually chat with on Facebook and so on. I suppose that's primarily for Heidi, who spends most of her time on social media.
How many people at the time do you usually chat with online
4
Facebook?
Yeah.
一次跟多少人聊天？
对。
For me?
Yes. Well, you spend most of your time. Social media is your area now. So
Yes. In private message, maybe what 10 to 20. Yeah, maybe 10 to 20. Not 20 to 30. Yeah, because now sometimes even I didn't do the customer service, but because they know me, and so they sometimes also send a private message to me and ask help. So I have also asked the engineer some questions, but not much. If I think that that problem need a long time to deal with, then I will let him to contact Sovol City. So my colleague will reply him. If some questions are simple that I can help with, no need engineer, maybe I will reply them.
Okay. And for those who are actually watching, please feel free to type in your questions now, because we'll get Ronald and Heidi to respond to your questions. So type in your questions here and we will get a response. So we have another question. Jerry is very busy tonight, apparently.
To most young people in China are in English.
Yes.
Yes. That is every school, the school or college have the English classes. So people need to learn English, and they have English exam.
Okay.
Yeah, like the college entrance examination, we got the English examination for every student. So not most, but every young people in China, if you're a student, you need to learn English.
Yeah.
Well, I'd actually been to China, so I've been there a few times, because I used to live overseas. So I've actually been to a few areas in China before.
That's great.
Where did you go?
I used to live in Singapore, so I spent time in, and then I used to travel to Shanghai and Qingpu and Pudong and a couple of others. I've traveled around different areas of China because I worked in automotive, so I've been around China a few times.
What did you think of China?
Well, I love China, and I love the food over there. So, like, what you get here, I'm living in the States now, so what you get as Chinese food here is not Chinese food. It's an approximation, but it's an Americanized version of it. It's not the same as what you get natively. And I'm really into the Szechuan style foods, the really spicy foods. If it's not hot and spicy, it's not good enough for me. So I like the spicy side foods. So
yeah. We both also like spicy food.
Yeah, for me, I'm Cantonese, so but most Cantonese food is not spicy, but as a Cantonese, I love spicy food.
Yeah,
like the the hot pot, the spicy chicken, and you must go to China, travel to China again for the Chinese food. If you must go to Shenzhen, travel our company.
Singapore is mostly Chinese as well. So because of Singapore, there's a lot of Chinese food there, a lot of and they like spicy foods there too. Like it's like they do they bake the clay pot rice and so on. And they bake it, which is fun. And the best part is a cake, the burnt rice at the bottom of the pot. That's the best part. So another question: how many employees work for Sovol?
Sovol?
Yeah.
In our company didn't only have Sovol, but how many employees work at our company? I believe it's 100, around 100. Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. And Brandon asked, do you take work home? I know you said you finish at about 8 o'clock at night and you go home, you go for your run and then you go and you fall into bed and you pass out until the next morning. You do it all over again. But do you actually bring work home, and do you have a 3D printer at home?
For me personally, I would sometimes I would work at home, especially during the epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should work at home, and if we are on a normal day like these days, I would take work home during the weekend, and but I don't have, honestly, I don't have any 3D printer at home, but if I want to play with 3D printer, if I want to print in a 3D printer, I would go to the company and to use, because there's a lot of 3D printers at our company, and my home, you know what? It's like you work from my home to the company, it takes 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes.
Oh, you're very close.
From my home to the company, so every time I want to,
it takes me 2 minutes because I work at home. So I come down the stairs to my office and I'm home. I'm at my office. I'm working. Where I am right now, I'm in my work office as well. So it's faster for me to get to work than it is for you.
Yeah, you got me. But yeah, I don't have any 3D printers at home, but I usually work at home, especially at weekend. So Heidi, you want to share?
What about you?
For me, I just post on Instagram and make it also post on Facebook in the night. because at that time about 11:13 p.m. because at that time people are active and the post about the pictures or videos on Instagram can give a very good performance. So I like to post on Instagram in the evening about 11:13. So that's all. I didn't do much work.
Lots of Instagram of you recording video of a print ongoing while the printer is printing. You have lots of Instagrams of the printers printing.
I don't have printer at home.
No, not at home, but you have lots of video on Instagram of printers working. Yeah.
Those printing are from the engineer. I asked them to print. I really use 3D printer by myself. Maybe you can see some live stream of the 3D printing, but some are printed by me, but most of those printing are for engineer. I asked them to set up the printer and print something for me. Then I just set the camera and share that.
That's called cheating. That's called cheating. So,
last year I even didn't do any 3D printing by myself. Just this September from the first printing live in the group, I shared. Do you remember that cute dragon? That
yes.
very small dragon. From that print, I know how to print also as we all. Yeah, so Jerry, that's my first print.
Yeah, Jerry said send him a message online. He wants to send you some of his stickers. I have some of Jerry has really cool stickers.
Yes, wow. Yes, that's
pretty cool. If you send him a message, he said he's going to send you on some.
Thank you, Jerry.
You serious? I mean, we are in China. Can you send to China?
You put in the mail, you'll get it. And he said he's a big lover of Chinese food. So
Jerry also loves Chinese food.
Oh,
so
Will
Jerry,
said,
if you come to China, then we will share some Chinese food with you. You can visit our company and see us.
Oh, by the way, Ronald, Will says you're. Are you is that water or tea you're drinking? I know a lot of in Asia you normally store tea in your tea. Are you drinking tea or water?
Every people when they say this water jug, they are very curious.
Yeah, not everyone in China use the this large water bottle, but
yeah.
I drink a lot. I mean, not beer, but water.
Yeah, I used to have a big container, and you put in the loose tea leaves, and then you just fill it up with warm water, and you drink it throughout the day. So,
that's good.
Yeah. So, let's see if there's any other questions. I know you have a meeting to go to shortly because you have another meeting, so we had to stop at just before in the next few minutes. So, do you have any last parting words? Like, we learned a bit about you and the company, and it's been fun. This is kind of a hangout. There's no stress in this type of meeting. So, what do you have any parting words or anything you want to say to everybody before you scoot off to your next meeting? Because that's why we moved this an hour earlier, because we were back to back with another meeting with you.
Yeah.
Any parting words?
结束之前有什么想说？
Before anything, I want to say we are very happy to join this live stream, and we still have 5 minutes. And if people have any other questions, then you can ask me or Ronald also about the Sovol.
I think this is a question for you, Ronald.
Just to say beer. I didn't even think you can drink beer.
We are not allowed to drink beer on job, but I don't know. He has worded. That's what he.
I think he's just making fun of you.
Yeah,
we all know that he's always on the streams. He's always on the forums, so we know he's always out there. So, So I'm going to give you time back to go and to get to your next meeting, because I know you have to prepare for the next one. And I'll switch off here. And I have one more thing I want to say. There's one last question that was actually brought up here.
This the biggest
What is the
printer
biggest
you
printer?
guys
So
have?
the biggest printer is going to be the SVO3, which is about to be released.
Yeah, the biggest printer will be Sovol SVO3.
And it's going to be what, 310 or is it 300 or 350 by 350 by 400 or something like that?
Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so 350 by 350 by 400 is the SVO3,
To
which is
build
due out in
volume.
December.
Yes.
So I let you go because I know you have to rush to another meeting. And thank you so much for doing this. This is fun. We should do it again at some other time. We should hang out again, and maybe we'll do it when you're getting ready for your the SVO3 release at some point. And maybe we will do one when you're getting ready for your resin and do a big reveal of your resin to just this group. Maybe talk a little bit about what you're doing with the resins and so on is coming up next year. So thank you for your time. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, because your day has just started.
Yeah, yes. And also thanks for your invitation, and I hope you have a good night.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Well, you heard it. It was a fun evening. Now, there's a few things I want to cover with you before you leave. Next week, I have Alice Zhang, who is a manager for overseas sales with MakerPie. So we're going to do an interview with Alice, like we've done here, next Thursday night at 9 p.m., not 8 p.m. And there is going to be no stream on the 26th, because on the 26th is Thanksgiving here in the U.S. Now, every Wednesday, I've started only last night, but every Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'm going to do a hangout. So if you want to come hang out with me, get on screen, just chat and talk about anything at all. That's going to be every Wednesday, starting last night, going forward, and that's going to be a fun talk about CNC and printers, and talk about laser engraving, or pretty much just shoot the breeze. So if you're interested, join the hangout coming up next Wednesday. And as I said, I have Alice Zhang from MakerPie next week. And on December 3rd, because there's none on the 26th, as I said, for Thanksgiving, on the 23rd, I have I believe it's going to be the chief operating officer for IC3D, who will be on the stream. And IC3D is a US-based company, so we're going to be starting at 8 p.m. for that stream. But the IC3D are in Ohio. They do filaments, and they do other stuff as well beyond filaments. So I think that'll be an interesting idea to listen to a local company here in the US that is actually heavily involved in the 3D printing communities and heavily involved in developing new stuff for 3D printing. So I hope to see you all next week to Alice with Alice. And if not, you can come hang out with me on next Wednesday at 8 p.m. for just a hangout and chat and just shoot the breeze with everybody. Okay? So have a good evening, have a good weekend, and remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and stay printing. Thank you.